First, I just want to ask what improvement you saw from the last game.
I don't know if I see, more and more an understanding of how we want to play sort of on both ends. There's not a consistency enough to it. I see a consistency in our practice habits every day. I see a consistency in our shoot-around habits, like I see growth in those areas, which is important. And now we get to where we play the games, and the games are revealing as we're starting to get that. Okay, it's revealing that this is what the challenge is now. You know what I mean? So we make progress. We've made progress in our guys' understanding of changes we've made on both ends. I think they've rallied around it well. They have good spirit. We have good practices. It's good coaching them. But then you still get to the games, and now the games show you. And I think 5 games in the league play, and it's gone on all year, the understanding from our players and us as a staff, as coaches, understanding this so we can help teach them this. It's really that we're playing against ourselves. It's like that's what I've been shown, you know what I mean? So it's not an improvement, but the way that we've improved in these other areas, now these games have shown, okay, I think I know what this is. We're battling ourselves. We don't understand that we're playing against ourselves first. And that's the message now, because it hasn't mattered who we've played. We come out in the second half, and it doesn't matter who our opponent is. The objectives in front of us, we're up 3 today, right? We're at Boise State, we're down 1. The objectives in front of us, it's the second half. The objectives there, the goals in sight, you know what I mean? And now we're fighting ourselves. We're battling ourselves, because every second half we come out, and in every one of these games, we've had the ball first 4 times. We've executed tonight, layup, miss. Right? Boise State, execute. Unbelievable execute. Get it into Wes. Good post move. Gets fouled. Guy got out of the way. Misses both foul shots. Got nothing out of it. Vegas, get the ball to Caleb. First play of the second half. Layup. Guy hardly fouls him. Doesn't make it. Misses both foul shots. It's happened it doesn't matter what the name on the other jersey is. It's us. We're fighting ourselves now. We're playing. We got to learn. We're playing against ourselves, because today at halftime, I went in, and before I talked to the coaches, I went in to say, guys, you should be talking about what we have to do to make sure we play well in the second half. What do we have to do? And then I came in and I gave an objective. I gave them a goal and objective on both ends of the court to attain. I put it right in front of them. I said, we have to come out and we have to finish this game with 10 turnovers or less. That's the objective. Because I knew when you get to the second half, the true objective's on the line now. Everybody knows that when you come out in the second half. And I said that because we do that, that's going to make us achieve the true objective at the end of the 20. Then I said, and as we do that, guys, on the other end, we got to limit them to 10 or less offensive rebounds for the game. That was the thing. Put the objectives in front of you so that you can know, playing against ourselves here, we're not giving that team the other ball. Playing against ourselves, competing against ourselves, right? That's where we're at, so we've improved because I know our guys know how we're going to play. I know they enjoy it because I see how they act at practice, and I see the pep, and I see what we got that's the right thing. Well, now they got to embrace the fact that they're playing against themselves, and we're fighting ourselves right now. And that's what these games have shown us. And that's this group's challenge. We're fighting. You got to learn how to play against yourself. And until we learn, right, how to not let ourselves beat ourselves, doesn't matter who's on that other side of the, what that jersey is. And so, I don't know if that answers your question. It's not improvement. It's sort of where our improvement has led us to this time right now to see if we're going to see improvement from here.
Absolutely. And do you feel like you saw the energy that you want to see from your players today?
Early on, I didn't, it was not the same. It wasn't the same. But again, each game's different. You saw I went to the bench right away. I'm like, I didn't like what I saw from a couple guys. Okay, you're not ready to play. And it's gone on. Well, like a big struggle for us is, we're playing a lot of guys. I'm playing a lot of guys because, okay, we're playing a little differently and you might have to. It gives me a chance to give guys a lot of guys experience, right? But really, a big reason why we're playing a lot of guys is because other than Ethan and our center position, we don't get the consistency that's required. We don't have another guy game to game that this guy's he's giving us this. We don't really have it. It's like a hit or miss thing. So then we're going to put guys in there to see, okay, who's got that energy. But all our guys know. We practice it, we have it. They know that that's what it is, and we're doing it that way so that they can really just focus now. And now it's really just focus on compete against yourself. And when we say pace and run and sprint, right, and play that way and get up and press, that has nothing to do with the other team. That's us. That's us competing against ourselves to say we're playing with that pace. I am playing with that pace. I am going to play that way. That's how right? I'm not competing against myself. I already know I'm doing it. I'm competing against the other team. We're still in the throes of sort of competing against ourselves. And, like tonight, Will Cooper got in there and he gave us something. Trick is we got to get to the point where Luke Harney's giving us something, right? Byron Brown's giving us something. I throw Will Cooper in there and he gives us something. And now we're not playing against ourselves anymore, right? We've done what was required to play against the other team. So, that's sort of where we're at, and we got to keep, fighting that fight and see if some guys can develop some consistency, And again, the consistency is, I don't know, Will Cooper got 11 minutes? All right, you get 11 minutes, consistent. I had that energy. I had that pace. You get 22 minutes? Yes, I have it. That's what I do. We're better at it. We've improved, we've improved there, right? But we don't have the consistency across the board.
Mm-hmm. And Bo Becker, I believe, also saw the court a little bit more today. What did he bring to the team in the game?
Well, again, I wish Bo was 100% healthy. I wish he'd never gotten hurt. Obviously, he still doesn't have the lift off that ankle. He doesn't have, the explosiveness that if you'd seen him in the past that he's had. But he definitely provides something, and he provides something where, like I said, from the center position, I got 3 bites at the apple somewhere to get that sort of consistency, to get some production, and game to game, one game it's Wes, the next game it's Bo, and each game's different. Those 3 guys got to give us a consistency there, and Ethan's got to give us his consistency there, right? And is there pressure on Ethan? Is there pressure on? Not really. You're a senior. He's played so much. He's been consistent. Just keep doing it. If we can get Ethan to stay that way, get that consistency out of our center position, then we'll keep working on what we're working on to develop consistency across the board other places. And the real consistency we need is our guys truly understanding we're playing against ourselves. We got to stop sort of, stopping ourselves. And that's, in some respect, I know for this group, that's learned behavior. I think all teams at some point, when you have a winning tradition, when it's handed down class to class, you've done it over and over. That's sort of what you're handing down. We know that. We know we always play against ourselves. We know we always do that. It has nothing to do with the other team. This group's got to learn that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have quite a few games over the next couple of weeks. What do you need to, change, if anything, to kind of turn things around? Or is it, just more consistency?
I think the change has to come from, all the guys just sort of understanding what I'm saying. Keep practicing the way we've been practicing. Keep having that energy. Us as coaches keep that energy. It's been unbelievably positive in my opinion. Keep that and have that group of guys sort of really grab a hold of, this is what it is. There's nothing wrong with, this is what the games have shown. what you got to do is sit there and acknowledge it and go, yeah, you're right. That's what we got to do. So as a group, not one guy, not two guys, this isn't a one or two guys thing. This is a group thing, so that group of guys in that room can come together to say, we got to fight this demon. We gotta embrace this fight that we're in and know it. And then because we're only going to win it, we're only going to win that fight together, every single guy. That's why I'm saying I like how we practice. I like the guys. It's there. It's a whole nother thing now to take it to the next step. Like any game against an opponent, and the trick is there is no opponent. The opponent is ourselves. That's what we got to get better at.
I know it was a close game, and you obviously weren't able to pull it out as a team, but do you think your team saw improvement from the last game?
Yes and no. We're still trying to figure out how to play within ourselves. Just not playing at the level that we need to be able to compete in this league, and it's starting to show. So trying to, fight that urge to give in to the other team. Like Will just said, we got to play within ourselves and play with some confidence because there's just times in the stretch where we're just not playing at the level that we need to play at.
Yeah, what do you think was your team's, biggest downfall in those last couple minutes?
Got to get stops. Got to get stops, put the ball in the basket. That's the name of the game. They turned us over way too many times in the second half, and then they came down and scored. So when the team's doing that, when you're not getting shots and they're making their shots, it's just hard to play mentally and physically, at that pace, at that level. We just got to stop that, the small mental mistakes, the small physical mistakes. We got to just cut those out because no other team's making those mistakes. It seems to just be us, and we got to figure out a way to push past it.
Yeah, and Will Cooper had a big day for himself. Can you kind of talk about his performance?
Oh, yeah. We're a young team, so we kind of need the freshmen to step up, and that's what he did today. So, we're glad to have him out there on the court. We just, guys got to be older. He did a good job, offensively and defensively, getting, hands on balls, getting in the lane, but we got to all just step it up as a team.
Yeah, and I believe you guys have a couple games next week and obviously a lot more in the season. How are you, keeping the morale or a positive mindset on the team?
It's tough to stay positive when, you're just not winning games. But one thing that we're fighting in the locker room is just trying to beat ourselves up, trying to just find more ways to improve, doing the same thing as what they say, insanity. So just find different ways to push past, wherever we've been. And games will get closer and guys will play better. And then hopefully, that it's our time to get that win.
Yeah, and what was the message to the team in those last couple of timeouts and in the last minute when you guys were within 5?
Got to just push past this. It's going to be 5, and the other team wants to get it to 7 or 8, and we got to want to get it to 3 or 2. So it's who can win in those moments without fouling, without getting tired, without getting lazy. It's who can win that battle, the difference between it being 8 and 3 or 7 and 2. Who can win that battle? So that was the message.
So I believe you had a career high points today. Can you kind of tell me about your performance from your perspective?
Yeah, I just had a little bit of a setback past few games. Coming off the bench, not playing much, so I just fixed my mindset. Just try to go out there, play with confidence, run our actions, and got good looks and put them in.
Yeah, and you had a big 3 late in the game. Can you kind of walk me through that?
Yeah, just a baseline drive. Just tried to filter the corner. Had good rhythm, hit one earlier in the game, so shot it confident, went in.
Yeah, do you feel like with the more experience that you're getting, you're growing in your confidence and playing?
Yeah. We definitely need that as a young team. Bunch of freshmen, bunch of sophomores, so yeah, just got to play confident. Got to play like, you're not a freshman.
Yeah, for sure. What was your biggest takeaway from this game?
Biggest takeaway from this game, it's not about the other team for us right now. It's about us. It's the same sort of trends, like coming out slow at halftime, them going on runs early in second half, and then that's the difference in the game. So it's not about the other team right now. It's about us.